So I've just spent 45 minutes in the presence of Geralt.
It's a long time.
It's a long time at E3 because everybody's schedule is crowded, but so was this room, and a lot of people took the time out to see this extended. And one thing that I really like about your demos, and same thing last year, is that you're trying to tell a story within that sort of short period of time. You're trying to tell a story arc for us to sort of take in what the game is about, because it's hard with such a sprawling story to give us something that's
sort of. Say in the studio too. You can't do it. How do you do a 5-minute demo of a 100-hour game? It's just crazy. So, yeah.
You can show the menus, I guess.
Yeah, that would take more than 5 minutes to show all the menus actually. So it's hard to do that. So the Griffin thing was kind of hard for us to pull off, but it made sense to do a monster hunting quest for that. And this is a main storyline quest, and yeah, it's 45 minutes here, but probably longer for a gamer because it's kind of easy here. You know, you can basically kill everything really easily. And we did that so you can actually play through it fairly quickly. Anyway, you didn't ask your question, I don't think.
Let's move on to the questions then. Obviously, we're sort of clued into some of the sort of the key aspects of the main story here. We're looking for this ashen-haired lady. We're trying to seek out what this is all about. It's connected to the Wild Hunt. This is really at the core of what the whole game experience is about, right? Where are we at in the game here?
Pretty early on, basically, and you've heard about this ashen-haired girl, and she's somebody that you know from your past, and so it's a girl that appeared in the early saga of the books, and but in terms of the game, yeah, it's like the first quarter of the game you're in.
Right. So we got to encounter a very interesting little creature, a little boy. A little godling, I believe was called. Sort of just an indication of many ways that Geralt treats the various life. You can see him as a monster hunter, but not all monsters are to be hunted. Is that something that go through the game as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea is you kill monsters that are threatening people, and this godling's not threatening anyone. It's just an innocent little monster. So there's no reason for you to kill him. In fact, in this demo, we actually help him.
But there was another situation there where you actually got to choose, and that, of course, entails a lot of sort of different. It has a lot of fallout in different ways that we can only see one during the demo, and we killed the tree spirit, and that sort of led to something happening, and there's really no good or bad choice here.
No,
there's some
no matter what you choose, there's going to be pretty dire consequences either way. So it's that's the thing, is that it's not always good or bad. It's like you can make you might not have the right choice. It might be two bad choices, and you have to deal with the consequences of each bad choice.
And you're not really aware of what the fallout may be.
In some cases, you're not aware until, I don't know, 10 hours more into the game. So it's so if you want to, you better save a lot.
I mean, that's something that was also true for the first two games, but it's a little bit. I guess it's a little bit different when you do an open world game in how that sort of plays out and how the people experience the different things and the different consequences. You're not sort of. It's not. You don't set the pace in the same way in an open world game.
We still have a strong main storyline, basically, and in that way you've got to follow that storyline. It's a non-linear storyline, but yeah, it's in that way it is similar to the previous ones. But in an open world game, you need a lot more content there, right, to fill it out. So, the quests, they branch out through the open world, and then they create even more branches, so you can go on smaller quests and branch into other quests. But you need to come back to the main storyline to progress through the game.
I think one of those nice devices that you use is Geralt's ability, you switch your abilities. That's a really nice device to sort of. I don't know what it is about it, but it just appeals to me as a gamer that you're sort of slowing down the pace a little bit. You're trying to find out things. You're looking for clues. It plays out a little bit differently in this demo. It's a little bit more straightforward. Last time, more of a sort of a CSI mission, if you will, that you're looking for clues. Is that also like a thing conscious that you're trying to control the pace at times?
Well, it's monster hunting. It needs to feel a little bit like hunting in a way. So we're just trying to make it feel realistic, as if you were hunting an animal in a way. And you need to track animals, and you need to know something about them and their behavior. So that's going to be built in too. So you'll need to do some research to find animals, and it is atmospheric. But I think these kinds of games need to be atmospheric because it's kind of a form of escapism. So you need to kind of get lost into them. So it's an RPG, you know, at its core. It's not an action game. So you should get lost in this world, and I think that's what we need to do here. I hope that people like that.
Speaking of getting lost, we got to see a portion of Novigrad, giant city, lots of things going on there. Can you give us any insight into sort of what kind of things, diversions, if you will, that people can engage in Novigrad?
Well, you know, there's going to be lots of well, not lots, but I guess some politics there going on. Some witch hunting stuff happening there. There's going to be some dungeons that you have to go down into and explore. And that's really all I want to talk about right now.
But it really seems like a bustling city, a lot of things going on, a lot of action, a lot of different things to see. It's not just one of those villages where you talk to NPCs. It seems like it's got more life to it.
Yeah, I mean, since we only have 3 regions, right? There's huge sprawling regions. This is one of the main core regions of the game, so you're going to be getting lots of quests and having lots of contacts and lots of NPC interaction in Novigrad. It's going to be really interesting.
I felt like there was a little bit of a different tone to the environment there around Novigrad. I felt a little bit washed out in the colors, and you had the sunflowers. Very different feel to the area that we saw in the previous demo. Yeah,
thanks. I mean, that's you need to do that for games. You need to give some feeling of difference in different regions. So it's not all one sort of one of the same thing all the time. So yeah, but there's going to be some variation with the Novigrad itself. You know, considering these dungeons, all the different interiors you have to explore, and then don't forget about day-night cycles. So nighttime is going to completely change the feeling of the city. So that in itself is going to be very cool.
And it's not just that it's darker and that people go inside.
Yeah, well, that's pretty common, you know. I think people are going to be going inside. There's still going to be people outside too, but we're trying to make it as realistic as possible.
So you recently announced the fixed release date, 24th of February?
Yeah, February 24th, 2015 on PC, Xbox One, and PS4.
Best of luck with the rest of the work.
Cool. Thanks, guys.